Okay, so here's a different method on how to balance a chemical equation. So this time, gagamit tayo ng algebraic method, okay, to balance a chemical equation. So first thing, of course, okay, just like what we did before, we have to write the chemical equation. So what we have here as our example, we have, for our reactants, we have hydrogen fluoride, and it reacted to silicon dioxide, and the products are silicon tetrachloride and of course water. Okay, so just like what we did, okay, ililista natin lahat ng mga elements. Okay, ililista natin lahat ng mga elements. Okay, we have here, unahin natin dito, okay, from left to right, meron tayong hydrogen. Okay, and then of course, meron tayong chlorine, meron tayong silicon, okay, and then of course, we have oxygen. Okay, now, since algebraic method to, ang gagawin natin, for every molecule, okay, dito sa ating reactant, at dito sa ating product, it will be represented by symbols or letter symbols. Okay, so we can do it this way. We can have, this will be A, okay, plus B. Okay, yung arrow dito, ang ibig sabihin ng arrow dito, equal. Okay, is equal to, okay, C, and of course, plus D. Okay, so ibig sabihin, yung mga elements na nandito sa A ay sina hydrogen at chlorine. Okay, dito naman sa B, meron tayong silicon at saka oxygen. Dito sa C, meron tayong silicon at chlorine, tetrachloride. And then of course, we have here sa D, meron tayong hydrogen and of course, oxygen. So, itong molecules natin, i-replace natin sila gamit itong, okay, letter symbols natin. So, A, B, C, D. So, A plus B is equal to C plus D. So, ang gagawin natin dito, sa hydrogen tayo muna. Okay, dito sa ating hydrogen. So, titignan nyo, ilan yung hydrogen natin dito sa A? Okay, isa lang. Okay, meron diyang subscript na 1, pero hindi na pinakita. Okay, meron tayong subscript na 1 dyan. So, ibig sabihin, we can write it this way. Yung hydrogen natin, pwede nating sulat ng A, okay, which is your hydrogen, is equal to. So, titingnan mo yung katumbas niya sa kabilang side, sa product side. Asan siya? Ito. Okay, 2, yung subscript na 2, kokopyahin mo yan. Okay, 2, and then of course, okay, yung symbol niya which is D. Okay, 2D. Okay, A is equal to 2D. Yan. Susulat natin muna. Next, punta tayo sa fluoride. Sa fluoride naman, meron tayong parehas lang, A. Ito siya. Okay, A. So, A is equal to, okay, pag titingnan natin dito sa product side, ito si fluoride. So, naging tetrafluoride siya. So, 4C. So, susulat natin yung subscript niya, 4, 4C. Yan. Okay, sa silicon naman, dito sa atin, nandito siya. Okay, it's B. So, isa lang din. So, B, susulat lang natin yung B. Okay, silicon, which is represented by B, is equal to, tingnan natin dito sa ating product side, okay, ito siya, C. So, B is equal to C. Okay, and of course, for our oxygen, meron tayo ditong subscript na 2, so ibig sabihin, 2B. Okay, 2B. Okay, for the reactant side to. And of course, it is equal to sa ating product side. Ito siya, isa lang. So, it is equal to simply D. So, ito yung parang simplified form niya para mas madali nating mahanap yung coefficient. So, pwede tayong gumamit alin dito sa ating equation dito. Okay? And of course, ang gagawin natin, we will use let, okay? Let A be equal to 1 or let A be equal to 2. And then once we found kung ano yung value nung letter na yon, then we can also find, we can use this remaining equation here to find the values of the other letters. And that value represents the coefficient. Okay? So, example lang natin dito. So, kung titignan natin, punta tayo dito sa pinaka-simple dito. Umpisa tayo lagi sa pinaka lowest na pwedeng possible na coefficient, which is 1. Okay? So, tingnan natin dito. B is equal to C. So, let's start first here. Okay? We can say, let B okay, be equal to 1. Okay? So, kung si B is equal to 1, at kung titignan natin dito, is equal to 1, ibig sabihin, si C is equal to 1. Okay, so we can say that C, okay, is equal to 1. Okay, since B is equal to C, then C is equal to 1 also. Now, since meron na tayo ng initial value ni B at saka C, pwede natin itong gamitin para mahanap naman yung value ni na A at saka ni B. Okay, so na A, okay, muna, si A muna, hanap tayo dito. So, hanap tayo dito ng equation. Okay? Dito, para mahanap natin. So, alam natin na si C is equal to 1. So, pwede natin gamitin to para mahanap natin yung value ni A. Kasi A is equal to 4C. So, pag gagamitin natin yung equation na yan, A is equal to 4C. Remember, 4. Okay? Tapos si C is equal to 1. C is equal to 1. Okay, so i-replace natin dito. Imbis na C, lagay natin yung value. So, 4 times 1, the value of our A is simply 4. Okay, our A is 4. Okay, so alam na natin yung initial value ni A, which is 4. Okay, so ang problema na natin ngayon ay si D naman. Okay, si D. So, let's find D. Okay. What is D? So, kung titignan natin yung ating equation dito, pwede natin gamitin pwede ito, para makita natin yung value ni D. Pwede din to. Okay. So, gamitin natin to. Okay. Since we know that D is equal to 1. So, let me just write it here. Okay. I-rewrite ko lang to where 2 okay, times 1, which is B, is equal to D. Okay, so obviously, 2 times 1 is equal to 2. So, yung value ng ating D ay equal to 2. Okay, equal to 2. So, yung mga nahanap natin na value dito, okay, ito yung ating coefficient. Okay, ngayon, kung ilalagay natin to, okay, let's start dito sa A. Start tayo dito sa A. Okay, dito sa A natin, ito yon. Okay, ang ilalagay natin na coefficient ay 4. Okay, 4. Sa ating B naman, sa B, okay, walang problema sa B kasi nga, it's equal to 1. So, definitely understood meron dyan 1. Pero hindi na natin siya isusulat. Okay, we don't need to write it. And of course, for our C, it's also 1. So, definitely meron ditong 1. Again, hindi na natin isusulat. And of course, for our D, meron. So, lalagay natin yung 2. Okay, dito. Now, check natin. Let's check. Okay. So, if we will check, we have 4, okay, times 1 here, we have 4 hydrogen. Tingnan natin dito sa kabila, 2 times 2, 4 hydrogen naman sa product. So, balance, equal. Next, for our fluoride, we have here 4 times 1 dito, we have 4. Okay? Here also, we have 4 kasi 1 times 4 here, 4. So, So, balance. For our silicon, obviously, 1 dito. Dito naman, 1. So, balance. For our oxygen, meron tayong 1 times 2 dito. Meron tayong dalawang oxygen dito sa reactant. And here, dito naman sa ating product, 2 times 1 dito, we have 2 oxygen. So, now we have a balance, okay, chemical equation. Now, what we can do, since tapos na natin naman nahanap, erase lang natin tong mga symbols na nilagay natin. Okay, so here's another example in balancing a chemical equation using algebraic method. Okay, so first again, we have to write the chemical equation. So, ito yung example natin dito. Okay, yung example natin dito, meron tayong methane, and it reacted to oxygen, and it forms carbon dioxide, and of course, water. So, this is a good example of combustion reaction since may involvement ng oxygen. And of course, major products ng combustion reaction ay carbon dioxide and of course, water. Okay, so gamit ang algebraic method, ang una nating gagawin is to write all the elements. Okay, so we can have here C, okay, and we can have here hydrogen, okay, and of course we can have oxygen here. Okay, and of course, each molecule sa ating reactant at products will be represented by a letter. Okay, so papalitan natin sila ng letter symbol. So dito A, okay, plus B, okay, plus B is A plus B, yun pala, A plus B is equal to, ibig sabihin ng arrow to is equal to, okay, is equal to C plus D. Okay, so now we can create simple equations. Okay, so let's start first here dito sa carbon. Okay, so as you can see, we only have one carbon here. So we can just simply say A, okay, A is equal to, tingnan natin yung carbon dito sa ating product, isa lang din, so it's equal to C. Okay, so A is equal to C, which is for our carbon. And for our hydrogen, okay, meron tayong 4, so we have to write it as 4A. So 4A, okay, is equal to, let's see how many hydrogen do we have here. So nandito siya si hydrogen, 2, okay, 2D. Okay, 4A is equal to 2D. Okay, that's for our hydrogen. And for our oxygen, here in sa reactant side, meron tayong 2. So we have to write it as 2B. Okay, 2B is equal to, okay, tingnan natin dito sa product side, meron tayong 2C. Okay, 2C plus, okay, meron pa tayong oxygen, pero isa lang. Dito sa may D. So, D. 2C plus D. Okay? So, meron na tayong mga equations ngayon that, again, we can use so that we can find the values of the other letters. And those values, yun yung ating magiging coefficient. Okay? So, pwede tayong mag-start sa pinakasimpleng equation. Okay? And again, mag-start tayo sa pinakamababang possible na value ng coefficient, which is 1. Kung hindi pwede si 1, and then proceed tayo sa 2. Okay, so here, ito yung pinakasimple. Okay, A is equal to C. So, pwede natin sabihin na let, okay, A be equal to 1. Okay, and since A is equal to C, then C is equal to 1 also. Okay, it's equal to 1 also. Dito natin siya isulat. So we can say that C is equal to 1 also. Now, what's missing is we do not know what is B, what's the value of B, and of course D. So, but again, since we know, we can assume that A is equal to 1 and C is equal to 1, so pwede natin gamitin yan para mahanap natin yung value ni B at saka ni D. What about D? So, pwede natin gamitin itong equation na to. This one here. Okay? We can say, okay, 4, okay, times 1, kasi si A is equal to 1, is equal to 2D. Okay? So, we can cross over this here. Okay? Para ang magiging equation natin ay, simplify lang natin ha, D is equal to, okay, remember 4 times 1 is simply 4. 4, okay, divided by 2. Okay? So, 4 divided by 2, so D is equal to 2. Okay? So, pwede natin isulat dito. Erase ko lang to because I don't have space anymore. So, D is equal to 2. Okay. Wait lang. At, okay. Susulat natin dito para mas maayos. So, D is equal to 2. Okay? Now, ang problema na lang ay si B. Ano kaya ang value ni B? So, titingnan natin dito sa equation natin. Ito lang yung pwede natin gamitin na equation. Okay? Sorry, erase. Okay, 2B is equal to 2C plus D. Okay, so, substitute natin yung value ni C at saka ni D dito sa equation na ito para mahanap natin si B. Okay, so, sulat natin dito 2B, okay, is equal to, okay, 2 times 1, which is the value ng C, plus 2, okay, yung value ni D. So, simplifying this is simply 2B is equal to, okay, 2 times 1, that's 2, plus 2, 4. Okay? So, ipo-cross over natin dito, itong si 2 dito. Okay? So, ang magiging sagot dito ay D is equal to 4 divided by 2. So, ibig sabihin, si B is equal to 2. So, pwede natin isulat dito, B is equal to 2. So, pwede na natin ilagay itong mga coefficient natin. Again, if 1 siya, we don't need to write it. No? We don't need to write it. Pero kapag if it's more than 1, yung coefficient number, we have to write it beside the molecule. So, erase muna natin to. Ay, sorry, mali. Erase muna natin. Okay, erase yun. Okay, ganyan na. Okay, so ilalagay natin dito yung coefficient natin. For A, it's equal to 1. So, hindi na natin susulat. Dito yan. 1 yan, pero hindi na natin susulat. And for our B, it's 2. Yung coefficient, lagay natin. 2 dito. For our C, it's also 1 dito. So, you don't need to write that. Hindi na kailangan. Understood, may 1 dyan. And for our D, 2. Okay. So, tingnan natin kung balance. So, tingnan natin. Ilan yung carbon natin dito? 1. Dito din sa C, saka sa product side, 1. How about our hydrogen? 4. We have 4 hydrogen here dito sa ating reactant. Here sa product side, 2 times 2, that gives us 4 hydrogen. So, equal, parehas. What about our oxygen? So, 2 times 2 dito sa reactant side natin, 4. And here, pag titingnan nyo, we have 2 here, plus 2 times 1 dito, we have 2. Okay? So, 2 plus 2, we have 4. So, definitely, our equation now is balanced. So, erase lang natin to. Itong mga nilagay natin na symbols dito sa taas ng ating chemical equation para mas presentable, okay, yung ating equation. Okay? So, ito yon. Ito ang ating balance na chemical equation. Okay? Okay, so here's another example on how to balance a chemical equation using algebraic method. So we have here our example. We have a butane and it reacted to oxygen and it forms carbon dioxide and water. So again, this is a good example of combustion reaction. So we have presence of oxygen here. So definitely nagkaroon ng burning effect, and it forms, okay, these molecules of carbon dioxide and of course water. Okay, so obviously this chemical equation is not balanced. By looking at it, by examining it, the number of carbon here sa reactant side is different, okay, from the number of carbon here dito sa ating product side, and even the number of hydrogen also hindi parehas. Okay, so gamit ang algebraic method, okay, so ang una natin gagawin ay, okay, pwede nyo isulat, i-label na dito sa taas yung ating mga molecule as A. Yan, lagay natin. Pwede naman. And then plus B, okay, is equal to C plus B. Yan. So we just replace our molecules here ng symbols. Okay, and of course, sulat natin yung ating mga element. Okay, so we have C. Okay, we have our hydrogen. Okay, and of course, we have our oxygen. And let's have our simple equations for this. Okay, so again, if you will look at your carbon here sa reactant, meron tayong 4 and then A. So, ibig sabihin, 4A is equal to, here sa ating product side, ito si carbon, nag-iisa lang, so C. Okay, it is simply C. 4A is equal to C. Okay, and for our hydrogen, dito sa reactant side, meron tayong 10. Okay, so 10A, okay, and that is equal to, tingnan natin dito sa ating product side, meron tayong 2. Okay, 2D. So, it's 2D. So, 10A is equal to 2D. And for our oxygen, for the reactant side, meron tayong 2 and then D. Okay, so 2B. So, we can write here as 2B, okay, is equal to, okay, it's equal to, here, pag titignan natin, meron tayo dito sa C, 2C. Okay, 2C is 2B is equal to 2C plus, meron din tayo sa D, isa lang. So, 2C plus, yan. So, again, okay, we will assume, mag-start tayo sa isang letter, let A be equal to, okay, obviously dito hindi natin pwedeng gawin na 1, okay, yung ating initial value ng A. Kasi pag titingnan nyo dito, okay, dito sa ating C, okay, it's definitely more than 1, eh, since 4A is equal to C, dito nakasulat. So, we can start here, assume na let A be equal to 2. Okay? So, if A is equal to 2, we can use this equation here to find the value of C. So, we can say, for C, okay, for C, so let's use this, 4, okay, times 2, which is the 2 is the value of A, is equal to C. Okay, so definitely 4 times 2, C is equal to 8. C is equal to 8. So, isulat natin dito, C is equal to 8. Okay, so meron na tayong value ni C at saka ni A initially. So, ang kulang na lang is yung value ni B at saka ni D. So, here, meron tayo dito. Okay, 10A is equal to 2D. So, we can use this equation to find D. Okay, sulat natin dito. Ano kayang value ni D? So, gamitin natin yung equation na yan. So, 10, okay, times A, which is 2, okay, it is equal to 2D. Okay, it's equal to 2D. So, 10 times 2, that's 20, okay, which is equal to 2D. Okay, so ilagay natin dito sa kabilang part ng equation natin as denominator. So, simplify natin. D is equal to 20 over 2. And definitely that is 10. Okay, 20 divided by 2 is 10. So D is equal to 10. So we have now the initial value of D, which is 10. Okay, and of course, for our B, we only have one equation here, which is this one. Ito lang yung pwede nating gamitin. Okay? Sorry. Pindot ko. Okay, so this is equal to 10. Let me just erase this part so that we can find the value of B. Okay, gamitin natin itong equation dito sa baba. Okay, so we can write it here. Okay, 2B is equal to 2. Our C is 8. Okay, so C is 8. So 2 times 8 plus 10, which is D. Okay, D is equal to, so 2B is equal to 2 times 8, that's 16. Okay, 16 plus 10. Okay, so i-add natin yan, magiging 26. So 2B, sulat natin dito, is equal to 26. And if we get the half of 26, so B is equal to 26 over or divided by 2. Okay, definitely that is 30. So B is equal to 30. So we have to make sure na yung coefficient natin, yun yung lowest possible. Okay? Na whole number na pwede natin gamitin ng coefficient number. Okay? Yun ang posible. Kasi kung may pwede pang mas mababa doon, yun dapat ang mas ilagay natin. Okay? So tingnan natin if magbabalance yung chemical equation natin kapag nilagay natin itong mga coefficient na to. Okay? Itong coefficient na ito. So for our A, it is 2. A is equal to 2. For our B, it's equal to 13. For our C, it's equal to 8. And for our D, it's equal to 10. Okay? So here, obvious, check natin. So if we will multiply 2 sa 4, magiging 8 yan. We have 8 carbon here. And here we have 8 carbon. Pag minultiply natin si 2 sa 10, we have 20 hydrogen. And here, if we multiply 10 dito sa ating product, dito sa 2, we have 20 hydrogen. And for our oxygen, 13 times 2, that gives us 26. And here also, 10 times 1 dito, that's 10. Pero dito, 8 times 2, that's 16. So 16 oxygen here plus 10, that gives us 26 oxygen. So definitely, this is now a balanced chemical equation. So practice, that's actually the key, especially if you're going to deal with a more complex chemical equation. You can try algebraic method to balance a chemical equation.